Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 7 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter 2 variable equations, and the lessons we're going to cover from the chapter are: does xy satisfy the equation? Identify independent and dependent variables. Find a value using two variable equations. Solve word problems involving two variable equations. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Let's just start with the lesson 2 variable equations. I am on grade 7 math. The chapter we're working on is two variable equations. Let's just start with the lesson, that is, does xy satisfy the equation? Let's just start with the lesson. So basically we are given with a point, right? That is x and y. You have to substitute the point in the equation and you have to see the point satisfies the equation, right? For example, you are given, is 8, 5 a solution to the equation y equals x minus 3? So the equation is y equals x minus 3 and the point is 8 and 5, right? This is the point like this. The first value is x value and the second one is the y value. So you have to replace the variables with the value here in this equation, and you have to see if both sides of the equation is exactly equal, right? Y is 5, x is 8. 8 minus 3, you have to do 8, take away 3 is 5. So you can see 5 equal 5. Both sides are exactly equal. That means yes, 8, 5 is a solution of the equation y equals x minus 3. Got it? That means the point satisfies the equation, right? So the correct option is yes, point satisfies the equation. Got it? Let's just start with the practice questions, the other examples. Hello. The first question is, does 0, 0 make the... So you are given the equation y equals 8x, right? And you have to see if the solution 0, 0 is the solution of the equal 8x. The solution is 0, 0. X is 0, y is 0, right? So replace the equation with the value y is 0 and 8 times 0 is 0. So 0 equals 0. Got it? So that means yes, the point 0, 0 satisfies the equation. So that means this is the solution of the equation. The correct option is yes, it is. A solution of the equation y equals x minus 3. That is exactly the same equation we did on the tutorial. So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is the solution of the equation 8. 5 is the solution of the given equation. Got it? So replace the variables with the value and see if this is the solution. So yes, it is the solution of the equation. Got it? The correct option is yes. Okay, the next one is 3 1 a solution to x? So let's just see if it is the solution. The equation is y equals 2x, x is 3 and y is 1. Replace the values in the equation, right? Y is 1, 2, x is 3. 3 times 2 equals 6, right? And they are not equal, so that means this isn't the solution of the equation. The correct option is no. 3 1 is not the solution of the equation. The correct option is no. Is 7 3 a solution to the equation y equals x minus 4? So which is the correct option? The equation is y equals x minus 4, right? Here is the point 7 3. X is 7, y is 3, right? So x is 7, 7 minus 4 and y is 3, right? So just evaluate 3 equals 3. Yes, that is the solution of the equation. The correct option is yes, it is, right? The next one is, does the point 4 3 satisfy the equation y equals 9x? So which is the correct option? Just replace the variables with the value and see which is the correct option. And the correct option is no, this point is not the solution of the equation. Very good. The correct option is no. Is 6 7 a solution of the equation y equals x, which is the correct option? The correct option is no, this is not the 6 7 is not the solution of the equation. Very good. The correct option is no. Does the point y equals 1 0 satisfy the equation, which is the correct option? correct option is no, this 1 0 is not the solution of the equation, right? Does 0 0 makes the equation y equals x true, which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is the solution of the equation, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is identify independent and dependent variables. So whenever we are working on the two variable equations, one of the variable is dependent and the other variable must be independent, right? So we are going to see which variable is dependent and which variable is independent through examples, right? Let's just start with an example. The example is the students at Ashland High School are collecting food for a local food bank. The number of trucks needed to deliver the food to the food bank will depend on the amount of food collected. So, if you read the question carefully, you can get from the question which one is dependent and which one is independent. Just read this line again and listen to me carefully. The number of trucks needed to deliver the food to the food bank will depend on the amount of food collected. That means the number of trucks are dependent on the amount of food, right? That means, like, if you have more food, you need more trucks, right? If you have less food, you need less trucks. So the amount of trucks are dependent on the amount of food. So amount of food is the independent variable, right? This is the independent variable and this is the dependent, right? Got it? You have two variables, t, that is amount of trucks needed to deliver the food, and f, the amount of food collected. So obviously f is independent, the amount of food is independent, and t is dependent on the f, right? Let's just start with the test questions. The manager of a restaurant decide how many servers to schedule for a particular night based upon how many reservations were made for that night. How many servers to schedule for a particular night based upon how many reservations were made, right? If they have more reservations, he need more servers, right? If he have less reservations, he need less. That means the number of servers are dependent on the number of reservations, right? So r is the independent variable, the number of reservations are independent, but s is dependent on the r. So the correct option is r is independent variable and s is the dependent variable. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? R is the independent variable and S is the dependent variable. Option number 1 is the correct option. The weather forecast for the town of Yardley has predicted that it will snow all afternoon, right? The more it snows, the longer it will take to plow all the streets, right? That means more snow and longer to plow. That means the plow is dependent on the snowfall. S is the amount of snowfall and T is the length of time it takes to plow all the streets, right? So that means if the snow is more, it takes more time to plow, right? So S is the independent variable and T is the dependent variable. Got it? S is the independent variable and T is the dependent variable. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? The next one is on a game show. Contestants win money for each question they answer correctly, right? The number of correct answer dictates the amount of prize. C equals the number of correct answers and M equals the amount of prize money. Which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? So which is the correct option? The more questions you answer correct, the more prize money will be, right? So which is the correct option? The correct option is C is independent variable, and M is dependent on the C, right? So C is independent and M is the dependent variable. Very good option. Number 1 is the correct option. For a party, Corbin made a pizza pan from scratch. The number of people in attendance will determine how many squares he cut the pizza into. P equals the number of people attending the potluck. The number of and S equals the number of squares Corbin cuts the pizza into. Which of the variable is dependent and which is independent? So which is the correct option? The correct option is P is the independent variable and S is the dependent variable. Very good option. Number 1 is the correct option. Felix is hosting a pizza party for his basketball team. The more team members who attend the party, the more pizzas he will need to order. T is the number of team members who attend the pizza party, and P is the number of pizza Felix will need to order. Which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is T is the independent variable. Yes, and P is the dependent variable, right? The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. T is independent and P is the dependent variable, right? The next one is the students at Ashland High School are collecting food for a local food bank. The number of trucks needed to deliver the food to the food bank will depend on the number of amount of food collected. So T equals the number of trucks needed to deliver the food and F equals the amount of food collected. Which of the variables is independent and which is dependent? So which is the correct option? The correct option is T is the independent variable and F is the dependent variable. Option number B, second one, is the correct option. Got it? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is find a value using two variable equations. So basically, you are given with the value of the one of the variable. You need to calculate the value of the other variable. For example, use the equation y equals t plus 3 to find the value of y when t equals 5. So replace the variable t with the value, right? T is 5. So replace the t with 5. So that is 5 plus 3 y equals 8. The correct option is 8. Got it? The correct option is 8. Let's just start with the test question. So basically, you are given the value of one of the variable. You just need to put the value in the equation and you have to see the value of the other variable, right? For example, you are given use the equation f equals p plus 2 to find the value of f when p equals 3, right? So you are given the value of p, right? That is 3. So substitute the value 3 in the equation and calculate the value f. F equals p you have given is 3. So that is 3 plus 2, right? So 3 plus 2 equals 5 and f equals 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. F equals 5. Use the equation A equals W plus 9 to find the value of A when W equals 9. So you are given the value of W, that is 9, and you need to calculate the value of variable A, right? So just replace the variable with the value. Replace W with 9, right? Here is A equals W plus 9. So replace W with 9. So that is 9 plus 9, and 9 plus 9 equals 18. The correct option is 18. The correct option is 18, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. Use the equation y equals j minus 7 to find the value of y when j equals 9. So you are given the variable j equals 9, right? You have to calculate the value of the y. So just replace the j with the value. The correct option is 9 minus 7, and 9 minus 7 is 2. So the correct option is 2. Correct option is 2. The next one is use the equation q equals y minus 8 to find the value of q and y equals 9. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Use the equation u equals y plus 6 to find the value of u when y equals 2. So, which is the correct option? You have to replace the variable y with the value 2. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is 8. It is right. Option number 2 is the correct option. The next one is use the equation s equals w plus 8 to find the value of s when w equals 4. So, which is the correct option? You have to replace the w with the variable, right? With the value. Yes, the correct option is very good. The correct option is 12. The next one is use the equation y equals t plus 3 to find the value of y when t equals 5. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is 8. Right? The correct option is 8. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is solve word problems involving two variable equations, right? So how do we solve the word problems when we have two variables involved, right? So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, this equation shows the cost of Mason's birthday party depends on the number of guests. C equals G plus 13. The variable G represents the number of guests and the variable C represents the number of cost in dollars. If there are six guests, how much will Mason's birthday party cost? So you are given six guests, right? That means G equals six. So just replace the variable with the value G and the answer is 6 plus 13 equals 19. So the correct option is 19. Got it? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay. This equation shows how the amount of tape Seema has used is related to the number of presents she has wrapped. T equals 2p. The variable p represents the number of presents wrapped and the variable t represents the amount of tape used in centimeter. How much tape will Seema need if in all if she has a wrap to wrap two presents, right? So basically she have to wrap two presents, right? P is 2. Just replace the variable with a value that is t equals 2 times 2 and 2 times 2 equals 4. That means in total she need 4 centimeter of the tape to wrap two gifts. Got it? The correct option is 4. Option 2 is the correct option. This equation shows how the total number of necklaces Tracy owns is related to the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces. N equals D. The variable D represents the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces, and the variable N represents the total number of necklaces she owns. With $11 to spend on new necklaces, how many total necklaces can Tracy own? So, which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, that is 11. Very good option. Number 1 is the correct option, right? You just have to see the value of the which variable is given and you have to simply evaluate the value. The equation shows how the total amount of paper Zane's office has recycled depends on the number of weeks since they started the new recycling plan. P equals 6W. The variable W represents the number of weeks the office has been on the new recycling plan, and the variable P represents the total kilograms of paper recycled. After 3 weeks, how many kilograms of the paper will Zane's office have recycled? Which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is 12. We have to replace 18. We have to replace the variable W with 3, and 6 times 3 equals 18, right? This equation shows how the amount of money Braden makes from selling lemonade is related to the number of cups sold. D equals C plus 1. The variable C represents the number of cups sold and the variable D represents earnings. After selling a total of 10 cups of lemonade, how much money will Braden have made in all? Which is the correct option? You have to replace the variable C with 10, right? So the correct option is 10 plus 1, and 10 plus 1 equals 11. So the correct option is 11, right? The correct option is 11 it is. This equation shows how the total amount of paper Danny's office has recycled depends on the number of weeks since they started the new recycling plan. P equals W plus 19. The variable W represents the number of weeks the office has been on the new recycling plan, and the variable P represents the total kilograms of paper recycled. After 1 week, how many kilograms of paper will Danny's office have recycled? So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is you need to replace W equals 1, so 19 plus 1 equals 20. So the correct option is 20. Got it? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. The chapter we were working on is two variable equations, and the lessons we have covered today are: is xy satisfies the equation? Does independent identify independent variables? Find a value using two variable equations, and the one we just did is solve word problems involving two variable equations, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. So if you need more help with any of the question, you can contact any tutor on the Skype, they are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So if you have any questions related to the lesson we have just finished, you can ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So please ask questions. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.